Let's get to the elephant in the room. You had a season I'm sure you want to forget from last year. So is it almost like golf where, you know what, it's behind us, we got to look forward to the next one, let's move on?
It's nothing like golf. Golf sucks. No, I'm just kidding. But it's, listen, it's in the past. I'm not talking about the past. We know what issues we had, what problems we had, what we need to correct and move forward with. That's it. That's what we got to do.
So talk about then the off-season, the attitude, the approach, the dedication you saw in the off-season for the returning guys to turn this around.
One of the things I'd say is our senior class. They're small. We're at 14 in that class. They've really worked a lot harder than they have in the past as a group. We've had some individuals that have worked hard for 3 years, but I think as a group they've really done a good job. But I think they were also challenged by this year's sophomores and juniors. We have 24 juniors and we have 20 sophomores, and they're talented and they're hard workers. So we're still young, but those guys really stepped it up this year in the off-season training.
I'm not a fan of one scrimmage. I really think you need 2 scrimmages to really get a good feel as far as your team is concerned. And your scrimmages against Manheim Township, correct? Right. And the one thing I love about Manheim Central's approach is that their scrimmages are always against top caliber programs. And you've said this before, because we want to expose what we need to build on. So what do you want to see come out of that Township scrimmage?
Well, I think when you go against a team like Township, they're going to exploit your weaknesses. We need to see how we can hold up, whether it's on the line, how well do we get off the ball against their coverage, how they're going to give us different coverages. So can we recognize, can we read the coverages? Defensively, they're going to come at us and pound the ball. So how do we hold up, and can we make the right fits at linebacker? Can we hold the line of scrimmage? Can our corners cover? Can the safeties make the calls and put us in the right looks? So those are all things that we're looking for. And with a team like Township, they'll play fast. So they're going to stress our kids out. You're going to have to move, know what you're doing. You're going to get tired, and you still got to perform. So those things, I think that's why Township just gives us a heck of a look and prepares us for the season.
So heading into the season then, as far as the different camps, 7-on-7s and things like that, are you starting to get a feel? Now I know a lot of it happens when you put the pads on, but did the 7-on-7s kind of give you a footprint as to where you can work with? We took a little bit different approach this year. Focused more on us and our team instead of the competitions. And the 7-on-7s, they're great. They're a little bit unrealistic. I mean, it's just half the game, right? The inside runs, they're great, but again, just half the game, just part of it. We focus more on doing team stuff. So we did everything within. We did have our traditional 7-on-7 at the beginning of June. We did go to Wilson for a day and competed against a bunch of different teams in 7-on-7. And we had our line challenge, but other than that, everything was our individual workouts that we had to grow as a team and get better and compete against each other. So we didn't do a lot of that extra stuff. So I just felt like this year it was more about us than it was about competing. Let's get us right first, and we'll have plenty of time to compete. The other thing is I want our guys fresh and hungry. You could do all those things in June and July, and some of them go into camp tired. I want to come into camp fresh, ready to go. For Manheim Central to have a successful season, what is the one thing that you think stands out above anything else?
Decision making. We got to be better decision makers. Whether you got the ball in your hands or you don't, we have to be able to make quick decisions. And the only way you can make quick decisions, whether you're on offense or defense, is what your goal is. You know how to execute whatever it is, the call on defense, the play on offense, and you know the weaknesses, you know the strengths, because if you don't know those, then you're second guessing. You can't have that quick response, and when you're thinking, your feet aren't moving. And we need guys to be able to react, because then they're moving. And so I think we've worked on that. I think we know. I think we're more knowledgeable of the things that we're doing. And I think that's going to help them to react better.